What's up, family, and welcome back to the channel. So for today, we're gonna kind of jump back because there's kind of what I started with making this channel before I got to vet school, and I was trying to finish up everything before I got out here. It didn't happen. It is what it is. So now we're gonna finish that up within these next 3-ish videos. All right, and that's gonna be like or as I called it, the application art, right? So for today, we're gonna talk about finances and just like the costing of everything. Now, granted, this is all gonna be like estimations. It's not gonna be exact, and I'm probably overestimating just a tad, partially just kind of help kind of sell home the fact that this do cost a lot of money, and you should have a good chunk saved. At minimum, I would say $3K, especially depending on how many schools you're planning on applying to, right? So your VMCAS portal will keep track of all the schools that you are gonna apply to. I applied to 4. I don't know if I said that, but I'm gonna talk about those 4 schools now and just like the differences and stuff of that nature. So the 4 I applied to, obviously Tuskegee, which is where I go to school now, LSU, Missouri, and then Arizona. All right, those are the 4 schools I applied to. And through VMCAS alone, you're gonna spend, with those 4, it would have been 5. I was gonna apply to Oklahoma State, but I'm not gonna lie, at that point in time, I had application fatigue. And I'll get to that in a second, because there's other stuff that you have to do outside of just filling out like prerequisites and sending in your transcript and filling out your achievements and accomplishments and getting those letters of recommendation in. And I'm gonna get to that in a quick little second, or I can do that in another video. I don't know. We'll bundle it somehow. Anyways, your just through VMCAS, like I said, that alone was, and I'm going to round up a little bit. It was probably close to $1,000, close to, or maybe a little bit over $1,000 right there in and of itself. First application is like $300, and that's not including like any taxes or anything like that. And then anything after that is like $150. That in and of itself, that's one aspect of the application. Most schools, or at least the schools I applied to, all had supplemental applications as well. Each supplemental application had a supplemental fee. Arizona was $75, Mizzou was $110, Tuskegee was $100, and then I believe LSU was like $90 or $100. So that's roughly, with those numbers, what, another $300-400, something like that. On top of that, close to $1,000, a little bit over $1,000 for just the application through VMCAS. Then your supplementals, that's like another $300-400, right? And then since I went through the process of going to Tuskegee, there's additional stuff that you have to do. So you have to reserve your seat, and reserving your seat does come with some perks. Like I was able to get certain things. One of the things that I got is I got my own lab coat from Tuskegee. It has my name on it and everything. So that's part of like reserving your seat through that. But reserving your seat, that was what, $500. So that in and of itself is kind of a quick little snapshot of like the costing of everything, and that's not including any testing that needs to be done. Not every school requires testing, so it kind of depends on where you go. Tuskegee did require testing, and that's the GRE, and I'm going to make a video kind of about that and that process in and of itself. But that's another like $300. And that's just to register and take the test. That's not including any prep or anything of that nature. And then the other testing, which I will also cover in the video about the GRE, is also is the Casper. And that's like another like 100 to 150 or something like that. But once again, the testing aspect, that's dependent upon the school. So depending on where you're applying to, you may not have to worry about getting any testing done, or you may have to do both tests, or you may just have to do one. It just depends on where you're applying. And then also for your Texas schools, for anyone that is eager to go to Texas or in Texas and don't want to leave the state or whatever the case may be, those Texas schools, you also have to do what is called the Texas version of the VMCAS, because Texas loves to be different and Texas is Texas. So you also have to do that. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure because I did not apply to either Texas school, had no intention on going to either Texas school, personal. That's just me. But I'm pretty sure there's cost associated with those Texas applications as well. So yeah, this is a quick little snapshot of just like the money aspect or the finance aspect when it comes to the application process. Like I said, you want to have easily, especially if you're doing it all on your own. Thankfully, my parents helped me out a little bit. Shout out to them. But if you're doing it all on your own, you want to have minimum, I would say, $3K saved up that is used just for the application itself, because you're going to need that money, and then you're going to need additional money, obviously, to get out to wherever you're going, get started, whether it's like paying rent or anything of that nature, just so that way you have kind of a base and you are not kind of struggling from day one in terms of money, finances, and stuff of that nature. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Once again, hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend who you may think needs this information or would just want to support a young Black man. So yeah, peace.